Welcome, kings and queens, to another episode of Unapologetic, your number one podcast. Welcome back, everybody. It's your host, Melly Mel, aka Mr. Unapologetic, right here on your number one podcast. Oh man, I know y'all, we've been busy like crazy. We've been having corporate CEOs, singers, artists of all different kinds, from music to painting to you name it. But today we got a special guest, y'all. Been trying to get this brother on for over a year now. And man, his art speaks for itself, bro. Just look in the background like you see it now. Please welcome Mr. Armone, man, to the game, to the Unapologetic family, man. How you been, bro?
Man, busy, bro.
Man, so that's what I just about to ask, man. How busy have you been? Because when you first started like really booming, which was like, from my knowledge, 2017, is that really what it really?
Yeah, you're right. 2017 is about when stuff really started to take off, and that's what kind of projected my career after that. Like 2018 is when stuff really started to, the corporate work started to come in. You feel what I'm saying? So you got a good time to start. I hear you. You said 2017. I'm like, right.
Corporate. Oh yeah, man. You know, we be owning over here Unapologetic, man. But bro, we follow legacies, man. And your legacy, like what you're creating is so it touches not just a specific group of people. You know, it's for everybody. You know, your art actually speaks volumes with, you know, everyday life to life struggles, from like the love of a loss of a loved one. And so the mixture of what you reproduce, what you create, is everywhere now. And man, when I seen it, man, I'm like, man, I gotta talk to bro, man, because it wasn't just like the celebrities and stuff that I was seeing you collaborate with, like the NFL stars and stuff like that. It was what you was able to create just off passion of doing it. And it was dope to me, man. So I had to get you on the show, man. Thank you for coming. I know you busy, like you said, you crazy busy, but you know, when you take the time out to be on the show, man, we got to acknowledge that over here.
Man, listen, it's a blessing to be invited. I appreciate it. I know it's been some time, man, but you know, man, I also wanted to make sure that like I was prepared. You feel me? Like, because I was like, man, I want to get on the camera with him. I don't want to rush him. I don't want to feel like I got all this other stuff going, you know. And it's like that's what was happening. So every time we cross paths, bro, because I think the last time we crossed, it was at the Black Expo event. Was it? Was you there?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah.
And you got to think that was a couple months ago. You feel what I'm saying? So
yeah, a lot has happened in 2 months.
Man. So, but yeah, man. That's, you know, I'm here. We're gonna talk about
it. man. So man, I wanna take me back, man, because I interviewed one of your best friends, one of your guys before you. And bro has been, you know, a rock. You feel me? He's been always there around supporting you. And actually both of your best friends, Kendall, and of course, little bro.
Is he bro? What? I got the plug on now.
The plug. You hear me?
Got the plug shirt on now.
I got the hoodie in the room.
Hey, listen, so it ain't never too far.
Yeah. So, and bro, hearing how they talked about you and your passion and your struggles, bro, it was amazing, because you know you have to be really close to another individuals for you know to really understand each other's emotions, not you know, because it's a brotherhood. And so it's like, wow, man, I really gotta meet all three of them, you know, whether it's together or separate. But you know, now that I've been watching you and whatnot, man, what created this artistic avenue that you create?
Man, let me tell you, it started with them two, 100%. If I'm keeping it 100 being, bro.
Really?
Real, bro. A lot of what I started origin from them. I had to, like, when I think about the timeline of it, this is something that I didn't know I had. You know what I'm saying? But if I run it all the way back to the origin of with them too, in 2010, maybe 2011. So we talk about.
Okay. Yeah, it was a minute ago.
Me and AZ had I was just in my, doing college, doing my own thing. AZ was doing his clothing line. He had
Okay.
his clothing line, and Kendall was doing shoes. And I had just got into doing iPhones. I only got into
wow.
Yeah, but I got into iPhones with AZ because we were trying to customize our iPhone 4s, and that's kind of where a lot of the art of business started to happen. That was kind of like where the art of business started to happen. And then, that developed. But on the other end of when the art of business changed was that when I started to talk to Kendall about bringing in shoes, because I wasn't doing shoes. Kendall was the one doing shoes. And that's when the more artistic side of customizing shoes. So I started, that's why I tell people, like, where did you start? I started fixing iPhones. And people like, how did you go from fixing an iPhone to being like this, this type of artist that we see? And I'm like, man, but it started with them. So when we were in college at Western, we started this thing called I was always, well before what I even knew what I was doing. Let's say that. So I was like, we're gonna do Infinite Customs. And it was like, what's gonna be Infinite Custom? I said, it's gonna be all three of us. It's gonna be you because you got clothes. It's gonna be you because you got shoes, and it's gonna be me because I got iPhones. These are three things that people always have on them. And we're gonna create a group, and it's gonna be called Infinite Customs because it's gonna be no limits to what we can do. So that's kind of,
that's smooth.
And we ended up like, we booked the table at Bronco Bash, and we all were at that table at Bronco Bash. So talk about those guys and being there, and knowing me and being like, they were, but we went to school together too, and we just always been tight knit. Especially when it came to like we all hustled Brian, and that was something that we all could see within each other. But yeah, man, that's why I always say like AZ and Kendall are always like a part of my, like, if you talk about the origin, that's where it started. I can't, but even
that's what's up,
man. But you talk about full circle, right? And you talk about 2017. It was points that, like, even when I left and I went to Maryland, and we were always in communication, but when I came back, they had the shop on Peck.
Right. That's right.
And after that, they just, they was cool with just bringing me in, and we just kind of picked the ball up and we kept it rolling. You know what I'm saying? So that was a 7-8 year gap, dang near, almost a 10-year gap from when we started to where we had been at that time, you know what I'm saying, in 2018, 2019. And just like we never missed a beat. And that's like why I be telling people, like, that's just how it happens sometimes, but you got to make sure you always keep the type of people around you too, regardless of what's going on. Like, them they was day one, so they gonna always be here, like, and they gonna know everything.
They were part of the foundation of what everybody like and see today.
Yeah, exactly. So before it was Indian, it wasn't this like that.
So man, so when all that happened, like during your Western college years, when did the start creating for like shoes and doing custom orders for people started with you then? Was it as soon as you left Western, or as soon as you felt like
it was I was still at Western though when I started. When I actually started, I was at the time, I'm pretty sure if I wasn't the president of BSU at the time, I was still taking classes and being involved in what BSU had going on.
Wow.
Yeah, okay. But a big reason for that too is because BSU, the Black Student Union, when we were at West, our first few years, it wasn't there. And then I had a couple of other young ladies and myself and a couple older alumni that got together, and we helped bring BSU back. And what happened is we ended up doing a fashion show at BSU. right? So we ended up doing that.
Right.
And that's how, and so now that's where the college presence and where it became. And so we did a fashion show, and I was like, man, let's do something different. I had been experimenting with painting shoes at that time. And this is like around 20, this is 2014. Yeah, 2014.
Okay.
Team time frame. I just remember it being like a February, and that's when I kind of started showing. That's when I did the first big fashion show. But
and how did it go?
It went well, man. It went well. It was a lot of, you know, we was kids, we was learning. Time was different. Instagram didn't exist, bro. Like that was
that's dope though, bro.
It wasn't what it is now. You know, but yeah, the college life is what helped me learn how to like engage and socialize with people, especially because being a part of BSU.
Right.
But man, that changed everything, to be honest, because like, you know, I wish I could go back to the college scene. You know?
What? You flourished that hard on in that,
well,
in that
it's because of what I know now and because of how kids operate. You can do so, you can have so much, you can create a cult. Like what I'm learning with now is like, you know, all the stuff that I do, what really is going to get people is like creating a culture. That's really what we in. We in the era of cultures. You just got to find your group, find your niche, and you good in life. Most of the time, you know what I'm saying? Because if you look at 10 years ago, people laughed at Comic-Con.
Yeah.
I wouldn't dare go to a Comic-Con. Now I'm looking like, bro, where's the next one at? You feel me? So in college,
that's crazy.
You know, in college, it was a lot of it was segregated too. So BSU brought a lot of people together because it was the Black Student Union.
Right. Okay. That's what's up.
And me at one point being the president of the Black Student Union, I think that kind of helped me just get engaging with socializing with people in the college. And then at that point, bro, I just customized and just became you know, it was second nature. But the college life aspect of that, that was everything, man. It was everything. I say it was fun.
That's what's up, man. It's like people got a lot of different stories when you talk about their college year. You know, they'd be like, nah, I don't want to do it no more. You actually let me do it again.
I mean, definitely. Because let me put it like this. I would have to make sure like it gotta be somewhat of the same. I think it's easier now to like retro what we did. Because I went to Western, and that's back when it was quote unquote waster. You know what I'm saying? So the parties was the parties. Like
right. Okay.
You know, but it ain't like it is now like it was then. You know, the culture, the engagement, how people socialize, it wasn't as normal. I mean, it was more normal then than it is now.
Okay.
So, you know, when you talk about college, just like, man, I would have to learn the scene to make sure it fit right. But I think like you can go to any college and if the students are open to having a culture and accepting something, it don't even got to be me, just something, you know, then it can pop. That's pretty much it. So
got you. So what's up with the shoes, man? What was the first biggest? Well, I ain't gonna say shoes. What was the first biggest project that you can remember when you was like, it made you feel like I can do this now? Like it gave you more reassurance.
Man, I'm looking at the table like, what was it?
Yeah, that was a good one. I can tell you.
That's a really good question, man.
That's a question for you, man.
So there was, man. You mean so you're saying like what made me like seal the deal? Like this is what I'm doing. This the bag.
Yeah.
You know what, bro? I can say like there were individual projects, but it wasn't. I can say it was like more so like this shoe here. When I did this in 2016, 2015, 2016.
That's hard. Ooh. Yeah, that's dope. That's real dope.
This cleat is actually, so both of these are two shoes that I would never, like these two shoes, I can't sell them. You feel me?
What?
Like, I would never sell them. Yeah, you're gonna have to offer me a ridiculously amount of money because I wouldn't sell them. But the reason being is because I can't remake these shoes. You feel me? A lot of this stuff I can't remake because it's either outdated, it's outsourced. For instance, like this is hydro dipped. I can't no artist in the world can remake the shoe even if they wanted to.
I can't remake that's crazy.
Yep, because this print don't exist no more. This print, like I would have to make my own version of this print. But you see what I'm saying?
That's okay.
Yeah, but these two were the big
I
games
get you.
Because you know, when I got into hydro dipping cleats, it was always just about getting good at it. It was like, you know, I never understood. Like one of the biggest things that I never cared about was trying to quote unquote be the best. You know, I was always like, man, I want to be just a dog at whatever I put my, you know, that's just how I've been in life. I want to be a dog. Whatever I touch, I'm gonna be the best at whatever I or you go, if I ain't the best at it for whatever reason, I'm a threat every time that you hear my name or you know that I'm there, I'm a player. You feel what I'm saying? So
y'all hear it.
I'm like,